Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will solve exercise 31.4 from Hodder Education, O-Level Mathematics. This chapter is related to coordinate geometry and we have already completed exercise 31.123. That was the basic level of coordinate geometry. So today we will solve little bit higher level of coordinate geometry problem. I hope you will understand this one properly. So question number 1. In the diagram, AB and BC are two sides of a square, ABCD. So ABC, D. These are 1 point. Suppose D is a point. We can just put a point randomly. So D is a point. And the question says, this ABCD is a square. From the definition of the square, we know that all sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. So here we can say that AD and BC should be parallel and AB and DC should be parallel to each other. Here, what is the point A? From the graph, we can say that the point A will be 2, 6. Here, we will get 2, that is called abscissa from the x-axis, and from y-axis, we can find out the ordinate, that is 6. So coordinate of A will be 2, 6. Similarly, coordinate of B will be 6, 4 and coordinate of C will be 4, 0. Now, by using this idea, we have to find out the equation of the line AD. So how can we find out the equation of the line AD? We don't know actually what is the actual point of D. I'm just drawing this one to make a square, but we don't know actually that D is this point or not. We'll find out after completing question number C. So let's solve question number A. In question number A, find the equation of the line AD. Now we need to find the equation of the line AD. So how can we find out the equation of the line AD? We can say that gradient of AD and gradient of BC should be same. Why? Because these two lines are parallel. If these two lines are parallel, suppose the gradient of first line is M1, the gradient of second line is M2, then if these two lines are parallel, then their gradient should be equal. And if two lines are perpendicular to each other, that means the including angle is 90 degree, then we can say if the gradient of this line is M1 and the gradient of this one is M2, then the product of M1 and M2 will be -1. Okay, so this one is applicable for parallel idea, parallel, and this one is applicable for perpendicular. If two lines are perpendicular, then we can say that the product of the gradient of the perpendicular lines will be -1. Okay, so here gradient of AD and gradient of BC, these two are parallel. Okay, so gradient of AB and gradient of BC should be equal. Gradient of BC should be equal. And what is the gradient? That is, we know that difference of ordinate divided by difference of abscissa or rise over run. Here we can say rise is 4 minus 0, that is 4 minus 0, and run is 6 minus 4. Okay, so difference of ordinate divided by difference of abscissa. So 4 minus 0 is 4, 6 minus 4 is 2, 4 by 2 is 2. So we can easily find out gradient of AD is 2. We know that in an equation, what is the general equation of a straight line? That is y equal to mx plus c, where m is called the gradient and c is called the y-intercept. Now we need to find out the gradient. Here we can say that gradient of AD and gradient of BC, since both gradient is same, so here instead of m we can put 2. So y equal to 2x plus c. Now we need to find out the value of c. If we look at AD, we can say that this straight line passes through 2, 6. Passes through A, that is 2, 6. So if it passes through 2, 6, it passes through 2, 6, 2, 6, then we can say that this point will satisfy this equation. So instead of x, we will put 2. Instead of y, we will put 6. So 6 equal to 2 multiplied by 2 plus c. Then the value of c will be 6 minus 4, or the value of c will be 2. Now, if I want to put the value of c in this equation, we can find out y equal to 2x plus 2. So this is the equation of the line AD. So here, the answer of A, the equation of the line AD is equal to y equal to 2x plus 2. Now, number B, find the equation of the line DC. If we look at the line DC, we can say that this line DC and this line AB, these two are parallel, or this line DC is perpendicular to BC. So here we can say two things. One is DC is parallel to AB, and another way we can say DC is perpendicular to AB. So if these two lines are parallel, then we can say that the gradient of DC and gradient of AB should be same. Okay, so what will be the gradient right now? So gradient of DC and gradient of AB, both will be same. So here, gradient of AB equal to 6 minus 4 by 2 minus 6, rise over run. Difference of ordinate divided by difference of abscissa. 6 minus 4 is 2, 2 minus 6 is minus 4. After dividing 2 and 4 by 2, we'll get minus 1 by 2. Now, in another way, we can find out the gradient of DC. Since DC is perpendicular to, so we can say that product of the gradient of these two lines will be -1. So we can say that gradient of DC, that is 2, and let gradient of DC is M1, then the product of the gradient of these two lines should be -1 by using this formula. Then what will be the gradient of DC? Gradient of DC, that means M1 will be -1 by 2. Look, in both way, you will get same gradient. Why? Because DC and BC are perpendicular. Because in a square, each interior angle represents 90 degrees. Now, we need to find out the equation. We know that y equal to mx plus c, that is the general equation for a straight line. So here, if the gradient is -1 by 2, then it will be -1 by 2x plus c. And this line passes through 4, 0, passes through c. So it passes through 4, 0, passes through 4, 0. Since it passes through 4, 0, so we can say that it will satisfy this equation. So instead of x, we can put 4. Instead of y, we can put 0. So here, 0 equal to -1 by 2 into 4 plus c. Here, the value of c will be 2. Then, what will be the final equation? It will be y equal to -1 by 2x plus 2. Okay, so the answer of question number B will be y equal to -1 by 2x plus 2. So this is the equation of AD and equation of DC. I hope you understand these two equations properly. Now the question asks to find out the coordinates of D. Here, if you look at the graph, we can say that the coordinate of D can be found out by using AD and DC. This D is the intersecting point of these two lines, AD and DC. So if we can find out the solution of these two simultaneous equations, then we can easily find out the coordinate of D. So let's find out the coordinate of D. Now, to find out the coordinate of D, we can say that we need to find out the intersecting point. That means the value of x and y from these two equations. Okay, so since y equal to 2x plus 2 and y equal to -1 by 2x plus 2, so we can say that 2x plus 2 will be -1 by 2x plus 2. Then we can write 2x plus x by 2, and we need to move to another side, that will be 2 minus 2. Then 2 to the 4x plus x, 5x by 2 will be 0. Then what will be the value of x? That is 0. Okay. Now, if I put the value of x in the equation A or B, we can find out the value of y. That is the value of ordinate. So y equal to 2 multiplied by 0 plus 2, that is 2. So the coordinate of D, so the coordinate of D will be, coordinate of D will be 0, 2. So D 0, 2. Now we'll solve question number 2. Question number 2 says, which of these lines are parallel, perpendicular? To find out this answer, we need to make this equation in that way, y equal to mx plus c. So we'll convert every equation in this way. Look at question number 1, y equal to 4x plus 3. Fine. Here, m is gradient, that is 4. In second equation, if I look at 2y minus thrice is equal to 5, 2y minus thrice is equal to 5, then we can say y should be 3 by 2x plus 5 by, okay. Now, question number C, that will be 6y plus 4x equal to 1. We can write 6y equal to minus 4x plus 1, or y equal to minus 4 by 6x plus 1 by 6, or minus 2 by 3x plus 1 by 6. And the last one, y, and the last one, 4x minus y equal to 5, we can write y equal to 4x minus 5. In first and fourth equation, we can say that the both gradient is same. Okay, both gradient is 4. These two lines are parallel. These two lines are parallel. And what about these two lines? If we look at that, the gradient of 2y minus thrice x plus 5, we can find out the gradient is 3 by 2. And 6y plus 4x equal to 1, here the gradient is minus 2 by 3. Look from this one. So if we multiply these two, 3 by 2 multiplied by minus 2 by 3, that is negative 1. We know that if two lines are perpendicular to each other, then the product of the gradient of these two lines should be negative 1. So here, 2y minus 5 is equal to 5 and 6y plus 4 is equal to 1. These two lines should be perpendicular to each other. Okay. I hope you understand this one properly. Now, question number 3. Question number 3 says, find the equation of the line that passes through 1, 5 and is parallel to y equal to 3x minus 3. So we have already know that if two lines are parallel, then their gradient should be equal. So this is the equation y equal to thrice x minus 3. So parallel of this equation, parallel line of this equation will be y equal to thrice x plus c. How can we write it? Because here m should be equal, gradient should be equal in two parallel lines. So parallel line of y equal to 3x minus 3 will be y equal to thrice x plus c. Okay. And this line passes through 1, 5. So if it passes through 1, 5, then this point will satisfy this equation. So instead of y, we can put 5. Instead of x, we can put 1 plus c. Okay. Then what is the value of c? 5 minus 3, that will be 2. Now, if I want to put the value of c in the main equation, then we can say that equation of the line that passes through 1, 5 and is parallel to y equal to thrice x minus 3 will be y equal to thrice x plus 2. Very simple. I hope you understand this one properly. Now, question number 4. Question number 4, find the equation of the line that passes through 0, 3 and is parallel to thrice x plus 2y equal to 7. Actually, both are same. So here we can solve this problem in two different ways. That is, here, parallel line of this one will be thrice x plus 2y equal to k. Okay. If two lines are parallel, then the gradient should be equal. So the coefficient of x and coefficient of y in that way will not be changed. Okay. And it passes through 0, 3. So we can put 0, 3 in this equation. Then we can write 3 multiplied by 0 plus 2 multiplied by 3 equal to k. K equal to 6. Now, if I put the point in the main equation, we can find out the parallel line of thrice x plus 2y equal to 7. So the final answer will be thrice x plus 2y equal to 6. So the answer, the equation of the line that passes through 0, 3 and is parallel to thrice x plus 2y equal to 7 will be thrice x plus 2y equal to 6. Now we need to solve in different method. We know that 5x plus 2y equal to 7. This is the equation of a straight line. So how can we find out the gradient of this line? We know that y equal to mx plus c is the general equation of a straight line. So if I want to convert this equation as a y equal to mx plus c, what will happen? So at first look, 2y equal to minus 5x plus 7. Okay. So from this line, we can write this, or y equal to minus 3 by 2x plus 7 by 2. Okay. Now we can say that gradient m is minus 3 by 2. So what will be the general equation of the parallel line of 5x plus 2 equal to 7? By using this idea, we know that gradient should be same. So y equal to mx minus 3 by 2x plus c. Okay. And it passes through which point? It passes through 0, 3. So instead of y, we will put 3. Instead of x, we will put 0. So the value of c should be 3. Okay. Now we need to put the point in the main equation. Then we will get y equal to minus 3 by 2x plus 3. Okay. Now if I want to multiply the whole equation by 2, we will get 2y equal to minus 3x plus 6. Or if I write it in a proper way, we can write 5x plus 2y equal to 6. Look here, you will get same answer. Okay, so you can solve it in different way. Now, question number 5. Question number 5 says, find the equation of the line that passes through 1, 5 and is perpendicular to y equal to 5x minus 1. We need to know what will happen in the gradient if two lines are perpendicular. If two lines are perpendicular, that means the angle between these two lines will be 90 degrees. Then we can say these two lines are perpendicular. So if this line's gradient is m1 and this line gradient is m2, so we can say the product of these two gradient will be -1. So this is the formula of the gradient of the perpendicular lines. So here the question says y equal to 5x minus 1, y equal to 5x minus 1. So this is the equation and we need to find out the perpendicular line of this equation. So we've already know that what will be the perpendicular line? Here gradient is 3. Okay, so 3 multiplied by m. Suppose m is the gradient of the perpendicular lines and the product of these two lines should be -1 or m will be -1 by 3. So perpendicular line of this equation will be y equal to -1 by 3x plus c. Okay, and it passes through 1, 5. Then this point will satisfy this equation. So we can say 5 equal to -1 by 3 into 1 plus c, or c equal to 5 plus 1 by 3, or 3 5s are 15 plus 1, 16, 16 by 3. So the equation of the perpendicular lines of y equal to 5x minus 1 will be y equal to -1 by 3x plus, now we need to put the value of c, that is 16 by 3. Okay, we can write it with 3y equal to -x plus 16, or x plus 3y equal to 16. Question number 6. Question says, find the equation of the line that passes through 0, 3 and is perpendicular to 5x plus 2y equal to 7. We will solve this problem in two different ways. So here 5x plus 2y equal to 7. We can say that the perpendicular line of this equation will be twice x minus 3y equal to k. How? Just interchange the coefficient of x and y and put a negative sign. That means just change one sign of x and y. Okay, then you can find out the answer. So here we can say perpendicular line of 5x plus 2y equal to 7 will be 2x minus 3y equal to k. And it passes through 0, 3. That means the value of x is 0, the value of y is 3. So here we can write 2 multiplied by 0 minus 3 multiplied by 3 equal to k, or the value of k should be in -9. Then the answer will be twice x minus 3y equal to -9, or 2x minus 3y plus 9 equal to 0. So this is the perpendicular line of twice x plus 2y equal to 7. Okay, now we will solve it in another way. We want to write the answer here, 2x minus 3y plus 9 equal to 0, so that we can match the answer with different method. So here, 3x plus 2y equal to 7. So we need to find out the gradient of this equation. So what will be the y? Y should be minus 3x plus 7. Now we need to divide by 2. Divide by 2. Here, the gradient of this line will be m equal to minus 3 by 2. Now, what is the gradient of the perpendicular line of this equation? That one should be, we know that minus 3 by 2 into, suppose the gradient of the perpendicular line of this equation will be m1. So it should be -1. So m1 should be 2 by 3. Okay. Now we can say that the perpendicular line of this equation should be y equal to 2 by 3x plus c. And this is the perpendicular line of this equation. Okay. Now it passes through which point? 0, 3 point. So here instead of y we can put 3. Instead of x we can put 0. Okay. Then what will be the value of c? That is 3. So the equation of the perpendicular line of this one will be y equal to 2 by 3x plus 3. Y equal to 3 is the LCM, so 2x plus 9. So here 3y equal to 2x plus 9. So if I move 3y on this side, we can write 2x minus 3y plus 9 equal to 0. Look here, both way we will get same answer. So this is the very interesting way to solve this problem. Question number 7 says, find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining each of these pairs of points. So perpendicular bisector, that means perpendicular gradient, we need to find it out. Now, how can you solve this problem? 7a. So at first we need to find out the gradient of these 2 points. What is the gradient of 1, 2 and 5, minus 6? Here we can say gradient should be y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2. So 2 plus 6 by 1 minus 5. So 2 plus 6, that is 8. 1 minus 5 is minus 4. So it will be minus. Now we can say that we need to find out the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. So here let gradient of the perpendicular bisector is m. So m into minus 2 should be -1. Then what will be the value of m? That is 1 by 2. Okay. So gradient of the perpendicular bisector of 1, 2 and 5, minus 6 will be 1 by 2. In a similar way, if I want to solve question number B, what is the gradient of this one? So gradient will be y1 minus y2. So 8 minus 4 by 3 minus 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 4. So what is the gradient of the perpendicular bisector? We can say this is m. So m into 4 equal to minus 1. So gradient of the perpendicular bisector m should be minus 1 by 4. Okay. Now question number C. Question number C, we need to find out the gradient at first. What is the gradient? y1 minus y2. So 1 plus 4 by minus 2 minus 2. So here the answer should be 4 plus 1, 5. Minus 2 minus 2 is minus 4. So if the gradient of the perpendicular bisector is m, then we can say m into 5 by minus 4 equal to -1. Then the gradient of the perpendicular bisector of these 2 points will be 4 by 5. Okay, very simple. Now question number 8. Question number 8 says, two lines cross at right angles at the point 5, 3. Suppose two lines, these two lines cross at right angles at 5, 3, this point. One passes through 6, 0. Suppose one passes through 6, 0. Then the question says, what is the equation of the other line? So we need to find out the equation of the other line. So if I want to draw it in a proper way, then the graph should be look like this. It would be better if we draw this one by using the graph, then it should be look like this. Two lines. So this is two lines, two blue color lines passes through the point 5, 3. Okay. And this line 1 passes through 6, 0. Now we need to find out the equation of this line, this line. Okay. So how can we find out the equation of this line? This is very simple. At first, we need to find out the gradient of this line. What is the gradient of this line? Very simple. So gradient of this line should be y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2. 3 minus 0 by 5 minus 6. So 3 minus 0, that is 3. 5 minus 6 minus 1, so minus 3. Now we can say that this line will be the perpendicular of this line. Okay. Why? Because here the question says two lines cross at right angles. So it is 90 degrees. Okay, so the one is perpendicular to another one. So what is the gradient of the perpendicular line of this equation? That is, we know that minus 3 into the gradient of the perpendicular line equal to -1. So M1, that means the gradient of the perpendicular line will be 1 by 3. So what is the equation right now? Y equal to mx plus c, 1 by 3 x plus c. Now we need to find out the value of C. So how can we find out the value of C? We can say that this line passes through 5, 3 because two lines intersect at 5, 3. So this line obviously pass through the 5, 3. Now if I put the point 5, 3 in this equation, we can say 3 equal to 1 by 3 into 5 plus C, or C equal to 3 minus 5 by 3. So 3 is the LCM, 3 is the 9 minus 5, that will be 4, 4 by 3. Now, if we want to put the value of C in this equation, so the final answer will be y equal to 1 by 3 x plus 4 by 3. Now, if we simplify this one, we can say 3y equal to x plus 4 or x minus 3y plus 4 equal to 0. So this is the equation of the other line. I hope you understand this chapter properly. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you soon on next video. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Fi Amanillah.